one of the things that I've realized is there's so much conversation right now about self-care and all of that. And yet there's really very little conversation about self-worth. And here's the thing, and I'm going to make a bold statement here to start. I'm coming in guns blazing today. Statement I'm going to make is whatever you have in your life right now, take a moment, look around. Whatever money is in your bank account, whatever your body looks like, whatever it is that you want in terms of career, whatever you want in terms of relationship, whatever you have in your life is your self-worth expressed. It is your self-worth. And very few people talk about that. But I guess for us to, before we even get to understanding, well, why, what, is let's define self-worth, at least the way that I'm defining self-worth. So if we go to the dictionary, I went to the dictionary because I wanted to come correct. The dictionary says one of the very first definitions is self-worth is, it's a bunch of things, but self-esteem was one of the very first ones. And what is the definition of self-esteem? Well, if you look that up, it says, and I went to the dictionary, like I said, it's what you think, what you feel, and what you believe about yourself. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe about yourself. So if you take a moment and think about that, your beliefs are what create your life. What you believe to be true about who you are, what you're capable of, what you can achieve, that's what drives your life. And I know we all have done it where we've gone to, I've done it. I literally, hate to say it, I've spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars going to masterminds and classes and courses and coaching because I thought, if I could just learn this one thing, then that would be the secret to my success. The secret to your success is what you believe to be true about yourself. The secret to your success is what you believe you are worthy of having in your life. It literally is that simple. What you believe to be true about yourself is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you've ever found yourself kind of wanting something and you've worked hard for it and then you get there and you self-sabotage, that's your belief. It's your belief about what can you have, what can't you have in your life. Ultimately, our self-worth is driving everything that we do. So if you want, as I said, more money, if you want a better relationship, a better body, whatever it is that you want in your life starts with how you feel about you. What you, as I said, the dictionary definition is what you think, what you feel, and what you believe you are worthy of having. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe. The other really important thing for us to think about is the fact that I think science says, depends on what you read, 90 to 95% of everything you do every day is at a subconscious level. At a subconscious level, you're not even aware of these decisions, of all these things that you're doing that are being driven by your subconscious mind. And so much of what we're doing every single day is we think we're making decisions. We think we're making choices. And yet the reality is at a subconscious level, if you don't in your core truly believe that what you're saying is true, that you are worthy of having, worthy of charging, worthy of being in a loving relationship, whatever the thing is you want, it will never happen for you because you will keep sabotaging. We always, I'll say that one more time, always live our beliefs. We always live our beliefs. Whatever it is you truly believe at your core about yourself, that's your self-worth. That's what you think you are worthy of. Now, I had a great question in the DMs. Somebody asked me, well, is self-worth genetic? Is it something that I inherit? Here's the fact. No, it's not. It is not something that is genetic, but there is a but. Our beliefs about ourselves, our beliefs about what we think we feel is possible for ourselves are mainly impacted by three things as we're growing up. Now, something that I learned recently is that when you're a kid, when you're growing up between the ages of about, well, birth till about 7, you're literally a sponge. You're literally just absorbing. You don't have yet in your mind delivered, whatever. You don't have in your mind the ability to critically think. So you don't have in your mind the ability to say, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's right. You're a kid. So what you're told is gospel. And so what impacts what you do and what you believe and how you feel about yourself are 3 main things that can be kind of boiled down to what are called the 3 E's. So number 1, E, is elders, right? Whoever you're surrounded by, your parents, your primary caregivers, your teachers. Whatever they tell you about you, especially in those early formative years, is what you believe to be true. If you're told when you're a kid that, oh, you're not good at sports, or you're not good at math, or you're really good at math, that's what you just grow up believing is, oh, yeah, I'm good at math, or I'm not good at math. So that's the E, is our elders, what they tell us. But also, this is a really important part, it's not just what they tell us, it's what we see them doing. Because as kids, especially in the formative years, we learn not by words, but by seeing. And so we're literally emulating, copying. That's why for kids, they love to play make believe, because they're just playing out what they're learning, what they're seeing. And so as a kid, your elders have a huge impact on what you believe to be true about yourself. They also tell you what you should believe. If you're someone who was raised Muslim, if you're someone who was raised Christian, if you're someone who was raised to believe there is no God, odds are that's what you believe too, even probably now, because that's what you were brought up to believe is true. So E is our elders. The second thing that impacts what we believe about ourselves is our environment. So there are loads of studies that have been done that show that kids who are raised in the projects, for example, in the United States, odds are they will raise children who will also live in the projects. Because for them, that's the environment, that's what they are led to believe is possible for themselves. And they're all the stories that they are fed about why they are where they are, and all of these stories about, this is what's keeping us down. And also just witnessing what goes on around them on a day-to-day basis. If they're brought up in an environment where every single day they hear, the neighbor beating his wife, well, as you grow up, if you're a boy, you probably think that, oh, I guess it's acceptable for me to get my woman to listen to me, I have to beat her. If you're a girl and you're raised where you see all, your mom being beaten or the neighbors being beaten, then you start to believe that, oh, that's a normal part of being in a relationship. And so our environment is no different as well than, I lived in New York for several years. And in New York, I went to the Bronx, to the projects, and I filmed lots of stuff. And that is true. There were people who, grandma lived in this project, and now mama lives in the project, and the kids are growing up, and they will probably live in the project. And then you look at, for example, Park Avenue, right? You go to Park Avenue, you go on the Upper West Side. Those kids who are being brought up on the West Side, they're probably being told to believe this is what life is like, right? This is your regular standard. That's why we see, yes, there are exceptions, but generally rich people will have rich kids, poor people will have poor kids. That's just because of the beliefs that you grow up having instilled in you. So that's number 2, is your environment. The third thing that has an impact on what you believe about yourself is entertainment. What you see, what you're exposed to in terms of social media, in terms of the music you listen to, in terms of the shows that you watch. Because again, they're normalizing for you that, oh, this is what is acceptable behavior. This is what you can believe about yourself based on who you are, where you are. And so when it comes to the question of, is self-worth genetic? No, it's not. But self-worth is highly, highly impacted by how we are brought up and the things that we see, the things that we experience, the beliefs that we are told about what is possible for ourselves based on who we are, where we are. And something to think about as well is those people who are passing down, and sometimes it's not a malicious thing. They know what they know. If you know the quote from Maya Angelou, she said, "When I knew better, I did better," right? And so they're just telling you what they know based on their paradigm of what is possible. And so you might come home one day and be like, "Oh, I have this dream to be a Grammy Award winning singer." But if nobody in your family's ever done it, if nobody in your neighborhood that you see hanging out with you has ever done it, it's going to be a stretch for you because you don't have a model. Because as I said, most of the time we learn not from words, but from doing. And so what can you do then if I'm telling you that, oh, well, sucks to be you, your beliefs when you're 7 years old, you're stuck with them. You can choose. You can choose a different belief. And that's why it's so important what you consume, the content that you consume. What is it that you're allowing into your mind? So if you continue to feed your mind with the things that you were brought up to say, you're not worthy of money or money is bad. So many of us have been told that, right? How many of us have grown up being told in the church or, that money is the root of all evil? Well, if that's your underlying belief, is that money is the root of all evil, do you think at a conscious level you can make a different choice? Probably not. And so that's where we have to do the deep excavating, get help in terms of what is it that I believe to be true? What is it? Do I believe that to be in a relationship, it must be painful? That if I'm not in a relationship and we're not beating each other up, we're yelling at each other, that it's not a great relationship because that's all you ever saw? Or do I believe that, I must eat unhealthy foods because, hey, this is something I hear a lot. It's like, well, we grew up and this is the food that we ate. Or do I want to believe that, well, because my dad only ever made $50,000 a year, that's all that's possible for me is to make $50,000 a year? All of it comes down to you choosing to believe something different. And that comes, y'all, like I said, 90% of everything that you do is being run almost just automatically, your subconscious mind. And so that's where it comes down to you, A, choosing different beliefs, choosing to believe something different, B, then doing something that allows you to start to believe within yourself that you can do something different. Because a lot of the time we're like, I'm just going to say my affirmations. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. You can say I'm a millionaire till the cows come home. But if you're not doing anything that signals to your mind, to your subconscious mind that, oh, hang on a minute, she's out there doing something. Oh, she's trying to create a business. Oh, she's trying to get a promotion at work. Oh, she's learning some new skills. Then that's where it's going to stay. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. How many people have been saying affirmations and done diddly squat with that? And so, yes, that is the first start, is believing a different thought. Another incredibly powerful way for you to start to step into different beliefs is really monitoring the things you say to yourself. The things you say to yourself are so powerful. What do you say you can do? What do you say you cannot do? Because your subconscious mind doesn't filter. It doesn't say, I think she's wrong. It just accepts that as a command. It just says, oh, okay, she said that, she can't do that. I guess I better prove her right. And then it's going to run the program, run the pattern of you being proved right that you can't do that. And so really monitoring your self-talk. What do you say to yourself? And also, for those of us when it comes to money, money's a huge one for most people. And I'm actually giving you a sneak peek. We're going to be doing a money series in the early new year. So I'm going to be giving you information about that in the coming weeks about how you can sign up for us to challenge some of those beliefs that we were told, right? That money is evil. You have to work really hard to make money, that only certain kinds of people can have money. That's not true. But you have to, first of all, call BS on those beliefs. You have to realize, oh, what is the pattern that I keep running? Every time I get money, I find myself blowing that money, or I find myself sabotaging, or I'm afraid to ask for money. Oh my gosh, I don't think I should be charging that much for what I do. Calling BS on that, and then doing the actions that signal to your subconscious mind that, hey, that's a BS belief that you're holding there. Let's believe something new. And so those really are the ways that you can start. It is challenging your beliefs. It is how you speak to yourself. And then it is starting to build self-trust. Trusting yourself that you're going to take action towards whatever it is, the thing that you want. Whatever it is comes from what you believe to be true about yourself. If we go back to where we started, definition, it is what we think, what we feel, and what we believe about ourselves. So unless and until you choose to believe a different thing, a different thought about what you are worthy of, then you're going to find yourself repeating the same patterns over and over again. So the first step is choose. Choose a different thought, choose a different belief, and then start to take action that signals to your brain that, hey, there's a new sheriff in town and we're choosing to believe something different. We're choosing to do something different, to actually take action towards showing ourselves, rebuilding that self-trust that we've lost, rebuilding. And also just, we love our mamas, we love our papas, we love all the people who brought us up, but also just realizing that they knew what they knew, and that's what they passed on to you. And just because they passed it on to you doesn't mean it's right. You get to choose something different for yourself. You get to really examine the things that you were told were true when you were a kid growing up and saying, now that I'm a grown-up, do I still want to believe that, or do I want to believe something different for myself? And so this week, the thing that I want you to reflect on is everything I have, everything that I don't have in my life comes down to my self-worth, what I believe I am worthy of being, of doing, of having.